You drove me crazy that day. This is why it really drove me crazy, because I'm like, you literally you said this like after you just made some sales. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, you just sold some copies of your book. How you don't feel like doing it? You don't feel like making more copies? Like, you just did it. Like, you're in it. You can't go back and not make them sales. So I was like, that's what I was really thinking. I was probably a little bit more nicer in the text, but like in my head, I'm like, bro, you just sold like 2 or 3 copies of your book. How you don't think you're good enough? Like, people already bought it. What are you talking about? You don't think you're good.
All right, Grayson, what's the tip of the day?
Why in school didn't they teach us to just write a book?
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!
Wealthy delivery. I feel like it's only right time to start the episode with me eating.
Got to. It's lunchtime.
It's not even like you won't say that, but it doesn't have anything to do with it being like you.
I know it doesn't, but I just say that because it's around 12 o'clock and that's when people normally eat lunch. That's why I just say that. But I know that has nothing to do with it. I just like saying it. Because somebody out there may be eating lunch right now. Well, if they're watching this video, chances are they probably got some free time. It's like, let me watch this video. It's lunch, let me eat. And boom, they watch this video. So that's why I say lunchtime. So if you're eating lunch right now, welcome to Writer's Block.
It's lunchtime. It's time for power hour.
Right. Who's part of somebody's power hour?
First time? Well, I guess we won't be on here for an hour, but you add us into your power hour. So without further ado, and no, don't you do it.
I have to do it.
No. We added noises this time?
You gotta just do just let it feel. Just let it out. Whatever it is. Just whatever noise, whatever it's, yeah, you gotta hold it back. I don't control this. It's just me doing me.
Just happens.
Just letting it do its thing.
You're out of control.
Yep.
Anyway, everybody, welcome to another episode Writer's Block. It's your girl Diamond SKY. And today I'm here with my main man, my guy, Devon Connors.
Here in the flesh.
You need a bell.
I'll get a bell one day. I'll get a bell.
Wealthy delivery.
I'll get that bell.
So we came out, like, we have 2 laws now. Right? The snap.
Definitely.
Before the E. All right, you gotta spell it, you gotta snap, like, that's the law.
Yeah.
And now whenever you say wealthy delivery, it's ding, wealthy delivery. It's law.
Fair enough. Boom.
Right. So, without further ado, because I feel like this is so me, and I was writing, and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what we should talk about. Procrastination. And I don't know many writers. So you guys tell me, like, does every writer struggle with procrastination? Because I'll be in the middle of writing and I'm like, oh, let me Google this word. And then I'm like, oh, this word means this. And then I'm like 10 minutes into all this just completely sidetracked from what I initially was supposed to read.
I think that's just creatives in general. I mean, first of all, I think the people are just procrastinators, especially if you're like a creative, because everything kind of interests you and it leads you down a rabbit hole. But I don't know many writers either. I mean, I guess I do, in a sense, because almost every entrepreneur I know has written a book. Most really successful ones. So I think we all struggle with procrastination. I don't even think it's not even that we don't want to do what we need to do. It's just like like I said, we just get so fascinated by something when we learn it, and it just leads to this black hole of like
information.
Yeah, and now you're just doing something way off than what you're writing.
So I have 10 tips. You know, like even numbers, so 10 is a good number for me. It's like, it's not you understand because you love numbers the way that I do. So 10 is like not a little bit, it's not too many. 10 is like a great even number for me, as far as tips go. And so my first one is eliminate distractions. And I feel like every time we do an episode, we always say this, but really turning off those notifications, you guys, are like, it can wait. Whatever buzz, ding, ping, whatever funny Snapchat video, meme, it all can wait. If somebody is not calling you 5 times in a row, I promise you it's not a 911. Nobody's dying. Like, and if they are, tell them to call 911. Like, don't call you, you're busy.
Right.
No, I'm just playing. No.
I'm writing.
I mean, but they probably should.
Call the ambulance.
Call the ambulance. No. That's how I feel. Eliminate distractions. If you're like me, part of my distraction is having a snack. Because I'm like, oh, I can't type. Like, I have to eat. But it's also the way I pause my brain. I'm like, okay, let me pause my brain and think. And plus, I just love to eat. So. But I have pineapples. So.
Well, I mean, that just goes into also realizing what your distractions are, what distractions actually are. Like, some people may have something they think is not a distraction, that it is a distraction. So, but know that turning off your notifications is definitely a great place to start.
The thing that I learned also, which is hard, especially because I work late sometimes, but writing this is my second tip, so remember those. Writing first thing in the morning, like, everybody sleeps, so nobody's bothering you. Like, it's just you and your own brain and your own thoughts before other people can interrupt your flow and your zone. Get up out of bed, brush your teeth, do a little meditation or an exercise, and then go straight into writing.
Yeah, that's a great tip. If you're going to do that first thing you wake up, you should probably set it up the night before, so when you do wake up, you can just hop right into it. You know what I mean? Like, you got that notebook open out on your table already, sat the night before, then like you get up, like you said, go brush your teeth, do this and that, and it's just sitting there waiting for you, like, write me. You kind of get a little bit of extra boost, you know? It's kind of like putting on your gym shoes, or having your gym clothes set up as soon as you wake up. Just hop out of bed, throw them on, get ready to work. So,
absolutely.
I think that's an awesome tip. Right in the morning. Plus, like you said, nobody else's. It's just your thoughts. Nobody else's.
And the world is quieter. And I feel like as a writer, like, too much noise, I can't think. Like, when there's a lot of noise going on, it's easier to be distracted, right? It's easier to be like, what's that and what's this and what's going on? Then you start to wonder. Then your mind starts to wonder. But when the world is quiet, first thing in the morning, I can really get in a good zone of like, it's just me, it's just my own thoughts, and I'm right here.
Right.
All right. So then my third one is to schedule breaks. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're putting all this pressure on yourself to write, and you're just going, and then you're burning yourself out. And then you're like, you know what? Now I'm going to take 3 days of not writing because that one day I was writing for forever.
Yeah.
And now you done put your writing aside for a whole day or 2 days or whatever because you burned yourself out. Like, no, schedule yourself 20 minutes of decompressing. All right. This is also my fourth tip as I talk about my third tip. Like, scheduling that power hour in there somewhere where you have time to decompress allows you that, when we talked about the subconscious mind, you're getting a break, doing something you enjoy, but it's also informational. And so you're still creating good, fresh ideas in your mind, but you're decompressing, you're having that time to take a breather, relax. So schedule breaks. If that includes a power hour or whatever it is, you should schedule yourself 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there. So you're not feeling overwhelmed by the dreaded blank page that is in front of you.
Yeah, I think, like you said, even if it's not a time limit, just give it like, hey, I'm going to write 5 sentences and then I'm going to go have a bite of my sandwich. Then I'm going to write another 5 sentences and then drink some water. I don't know, whatever it is. But like, that's a quick 2 paragraphs right there. I remember this one time, it was probably like a few years ago when I really was studying entrepreneurship and things like that. I was listening to this audiobook and it was like 100 tips for something. Like, I forget what it was. And I was like trying to make it something else, like 100 tips, like take those same tips and apply it to a certain category. And I was like, I'm going to do 10 push-ups after every tip. So I did 1,000 push-ups that night. Cause I was like, all right, I'll listen to the tip from the audiobook. I'll write out how it applies to like my, category or niche. And then I did 10 push-ups. Press play. And I did this. I was like, I just did 1,000 push-ups. Niche, yes. I heard both ways. I don't know how. It's one of those words.
No, it's fine. It's just, okay.
Niche, it's the same thing.
Niche. Tomato.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's like, I never did it. And plus it was just a goal for me. It's like, I wonder if I can do 1,000 push-ups. But I was like, if I break it down, I was obsessed with breaking things down into smaller tasks, and that's what I did.
It's just like when you schedule those breaks, it's like you give yourself a pause so you don't get burned out by what you're doing.
Right.
And then I feel like it's also a small, and this is another tip, giving yourself a reward. It's like, oh, I did a page. This is my reward. I get to now get a snack, or I get to now, when you said like you were doing push-ups, like that's your reward.
People love rewards. Because it's funny, I got this shirt on. Me and my cousin, we used to do this thing called cards, where we take a deck of cards and we'll flip them over. I think if it was like a face card, you got to do 10 push-ups. And then the number card, whatever it was.
Whatever number.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, full circle. Shout out Jarrell. We used to do those. We need to get that. Next time I'm with Jarrell, we're going to do those, bro. So, hope you have a deck of cards ready for you. Because it's on.
I don't do push-ups because they hurt my arms. Which means I probably should do more of them.
Probably.
But I just don't like.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
I don't like push-ups.
Yeah,
I don't.
Their own.
I like other exercises. Push-ups is not one of them. Like, I would avoid push-ups with my entire being. Yeah, so giving yourself a reward throughout Whether that be there's a show that you've been dying to watch, so you're like, oh, if I finish this page, I get to watch this show. And now you have a reward. Now you have something to look forward to. Like, but you're also getting your work done. Like, you cannot go do this other thing if you do not get your work done. And that's how you can break it up and you can break it down. You're not burning yourself out. You're not putting too much pressure on yourself. The next thing was rephrasing your internal dialogue. So the way you talk to yourself while you're writing. Because I notice myself, I'm just like, sometimes when I write, I just get frustrated. And it happens where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over it. And then I have to tell myself, no, you can do this. It's not as hard as you think. You know, just being more positive instead, or optimistic and positive instead of pessimistic and negative.
I think that's it's important the way you talk to yourself. Definitely. Especially like, and I think that even kind of goes back into like, if you just break it down into something small, like you'd be like, I can do this quick little thing. Like I can write 5 sentences. Like, and yeah, you don't have to come in and write, you know, like I said, 20, 50, you know, paragraphs or pages. But you're like, yo, I can write a quick 5 sentences. And then, because on those days you don't feel like it, where you're like, you're like, well, at least I did those 5. And that's always been my consistent goal every day. So like, because like some days you want to knock stuff out of the park. You want that grand slam home run. But like sometimes you just need to get a base hit. And you're just like, you know what? Yeah. Let me just get on base. And let me just write these 5 sentences. I really don't feel like writing today, but I'm going to write these 5. And then I go away for the day. It's like I'm doing it tomorrow anyway, so it's like, who knows? I may feel better tomorrow, and I just go ahead and crank that bad boy out, something crazy. But those days where you don't really feel like it, doing it at all, tell yourself like, all right, this is the days I need to do it most. I really need to do those 5. You know, so that's what I think I kind of tell myself. Like, if I don't feel like doing it, that means this is the days I really need to do it.
You really need to do it, exactly. It's like when I remember we had a conversation one time and I really was not in the mood to write, or like I was just feeling down on myself. And you were like, no, you in the middle of doing it. It's like being in the middle of a workout and being like, I can't do this. Like, you're already in the middle of a workout.
You drove me crazy that day. This is why it really drove me crazy, because I'm like, you literally you said this like after you just made some sales. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, you just sold some copies of your book. How you don't feel like doing it? You don't feel like making more copies? Like, you just did it. Like, you're in it. You can't go back and not make them sales. So I was like, that's what I was really thinking. I was probably a little bit more nicer in the text, but like in my head, I'm like, bro, you just sold like 2 or 3 copies of your book. How you don't think you're good enough? Like, people already bought it. What are you talking about? You don't think you're good enough. You're clear. So
it's the change in that internal dialogue. It's just,
I was like, yo, you tripping, bro. Like, that's I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
I know. It just was one of those days.
I understand. And that's why you need somebody there to be like, listen, you tripping. Like,
and I'm glad that you said that, because one of the other tips was ask someone to check up on you. Because sometimes you just get, especially because when you're a writer, we must have like a bazillion more thoughts than like regular people. But you just get in your own mind. You're like stuck up here thinking every thought. And if you have that one person that just like call you and say, hey, how you doing? Like, how's it going over there? Not to distract you, but just to, send you some encouragement to say like, oh, you got it. And don't be on the phone forever. Like, don't use that as an excuse to distract yourself from your work, but just having them say like, hey, You good? You all right? I know you've been in the lab. But I'm just here to let you know, like, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna make it.
Accountability partner. That's pretty much what you need. You need an accountability partner. That's all it is. And like,
I like that. I like. Would you say
or
accountability partner?
Yeah, or even just a group, but like a group of people. Like if you get together with another group of writers, and like, even if it was like through like a Facebook group, which I may start. I will start. I'm not gonna start right now because I got other projects going on. I want to tackle on more. But that is a project that's coming soon. So I'll let you guys know when the Writer's Block Facebook group is up and live. But nonetheless, yeah, just being around the people, because they're going through the same thing in a sense. Like, and they have those days. And it's like, those days you're feeling like that, they're probably feeling a little bit better that can lift you up and pull you, up. Like, come on, listen. Mm-hmm. I felt like that yesterday, but I'm good today. You good. You got this. You sold 4 copies of your book today. Like, you're good. You tripping. Keep writing.
I just needed that pat on the back.
If you had saw my face though, I'd have been like, I looked at my phone like, what? Like, what? Like, I remember because I was in my car. Like, I think I just got off work and I was like, listen, you bugging.
Like, I don't even got time. I don't even understand how I'm wasting my energy sending this text.
Like, you were doing it. You were in it.
Commit to the task. Like, whatever, schedule your break. Set aside the distractions. Do your power hour. Ask somebody to check on you. Like, do all the things, but commit yourself. Like, don't just say, like, oh, I'm gonna write, and then you're not committed to what you're doing. Like, the same way you commit yourself to, I don't know, going to your regular job or getting your car washed or making sure you commit to making sure you get a haircut every month. Like, commit to that 5 sentences. Like, I am committed to this right here, right now. And that accountability is so important for your self-esteem, for your book. I feel like it helps, especially for me. I'm like, once I say, like, today I'm gonna do 3 pages, and that's what I'm committed to. And then once I get it done, I'm like, dang, I'm gonna pop my collar. I feel good. I can do anything. Like, I feel so like I conquered this.
Yeah.
So commit yourself. Tell yourself, like, this is what I'm doing. This is when I'm gonna get it done. This is how much I'm gonna get it done. I have a formula to get it done. Commit yourself to yourself. Because your writing that's you.
Right. Yeah, because all you're trying to do is be better than you were yesterday. Like, I think I don't know, man. Like, the big thing, I was just thinking about this morning because, I was listening to my morning motivational stuff, and it kind of get me up and running. And actually, it was I told you about Dwayne Johnson, the Rock Little compilation I listened to, and he's talking about, like, he's like, man, the only person I'm really trying to be better than is me. Like, and that's kind of how I feel. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to be. Do I want to dominate when I go into a space? Absolutely. But that time will come. But it's like, for now, I'm just trying to be a better writer than I was yesterday. I'm trying to be a better entrepreneur than myself. I'm only trying to be better than myself. I really don't care what the top person in the industry is doing. I don't care what the majority of the people in the industry are doing. It's like, what's Devon doing? I'm only trying to be better. What was Devon yesterday? Well, how can I be a little bit better than that cat yesterday?
Absolutely. And I think that goes along with the internal dialogue, like, just telling yours, because when you start to compare yourself to other people, I just feel like that's the worst thing, because you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know the steps that they went through to get to where they're at. Like, everybody has their own path that they have to take.
Right.
So my next point was to forgive yourself for past procrastination. Because sometimes it's like, oh, again, it's back to that internal dialogue of, dang, I was procrastinating. And now you're in your head and you're at your writing and it's staring back at you and you're staring at it like, I ain't seen you in a week. Like, where you been at?
What's good? Where you been? I've been calling.
I've been calling. I've been texting. Like, you ghosted me.
Damn, big time, man.
Like, damn, what's up? No, well, yes, forgive yourself. Like, it happened. It is what it is. And now it's time to get back in the game.
And
Yes.
so, hey, no rebuttal to that at all. That's I'll say this because I say this. I'll go back to basketball with this. Like, you know how you have people like a dude will have like a terrible you have like a good regular season and may have like a terrible playoff, and then people that come that next season. It's regular season again, and dude's kind of hooping and they're looking good, and it's always those persons like, well, yeah, we need to. I don't want to see nothing to the playoffs. And I'm like, I get that, it makes sense. Yeah, we all know that they need to prove it in the playoffs, but they still got to do what they doing now in the regular season because that's where we're at. And that kind of is when you go away from writing. Like, all right, well, you said you was going to do it every day for this long. You only did it every day for that long. And you took a little break. You were gone for a minute. So, you want to start it again? Like, you still got to go through it again. All right, well, you just start over. Like, if I did it 10 days in a row, it took 3 days off, and then I do 3 days in a row again, and somebody's like, well, hey, you did 10 the last time and gave up. What? I'm like, well, I still got to do these 3. I still got to do these 4. I still got to do these 5. I may get to 11, but I still got to do where I'm at today. And today I'm at 7. You know what I mean? It's like I still got to do it. I still got to dominate it, and we'll see when the time comes when I hit day 10 and day 11 is tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Right.
But I still got to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. So just get in there and do it.
You gotta do it. And I'm glad you said that. Because the last one was just to wrap it all up. Just stop procrastinating. Like, stop doing that shit.
Just do it.
Stop making excuses. Stop coming up with avoidance tactics. Stop telling yourself that you can't and you won't. All of these other things. Like, just get in there and do that shit. Like, I don't know how many times I'll have my laptop open and I'll be writing and I'm just like, I'm gonna do something else. Like, no.
No,
you just do that shit. Just get to that pen and paper, that keyboard. I don't know. Do people still use those little clickety clacky things? What do you call those things?
Typewriters? The classic typewriters?
Classic little typewriter, whatever. Get in there and do that shit. Stop fucking procrastinating. Stop.
Straight up.
Like, just stop. Get your head in the game. The world's waiting for your wealth of knowledge.
Facts.
Big facts.
And there you have it, folks.
There you go. That's it.
Stop that procrastination.
That's what I got for y'all today.
I think you said a lot of it. Those very tangible steps people can take to give up procrastination. So
if anybody has any more tips and tricks, put it in the
comment or just put your favorite one. put the comment or put the tip you're going to use today. Let's tell me that. Tell me a tip you're going to use today in the comments.
Which tip helped you? Put that in the comments. Tell us. Let us know.
Boom. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I do want to say, those people out there, since we're telling them, I do want to say, if you've written a book, or you want to write a book, or you thought about writing a book, and you're worried that your book won't sell, if you go to www.onebooktowealthy.com or click the link. I said click the link. Woo! Click the link in the description.
You can't take that out either. Like,
I don't plan on it. I'm me. I don't know. I don't care. I'll show you. There's a training. I'll show you how to sell your first 50 copies of your book using a podcast. So, onebooktowealthy.com. Check it out.
Because every week is...
Any other news you got coming for the people?
Oh my gosh. Well, Broken Skin's still on pre-order, so go ahead to nailtothesky.com. Nail to the sky, SKY.com, and pre-order your copy of Broken Skin. February's coming very quickly. For Valentine's Day, I'm doing my erotic poetry novel, so that'll be available. That'll be on pre-order February 1, and then available everywhere February 14th.
Check that out, folks.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be different.
Well, other than that, I will be starting on my birthday, which is February 25th. I'll be holding the first book writers workshop, which pretty much, if you're someone who's, you're looking to create a passive income for your kid, you kind of want to write a book, something that you'll be proud that your kid has read. And if you just want to make the book creation process fun and enjoyable, Saturdays, well, that's a Thursday, but after that, Saturdays, I'll try to hold one every Saturday, depending on how many people show up. If the world tell me they fucking with it.
Every Saturday.
The Kickstart Generational Wealth for your child using a book writer's workshop. And
Writer's workshop.
So look out for that. I'll probably leave a link. I'll probably leave a link for that as well. But and also during that workshop, I give away the strategy to use those first 50 sales using a podcast to leverage into daily consistent sales. So give a little extra bonus in the workshop. So
it's so cool.
But for now, just go to onebooktowealthy.com, check out that free training, and if you like what you see, come check me out at the workshop. I got some fire for y'all. Boom.
I'll be there.
All right.
I won't be square.
All right. I'm gonna wrap this
Devon
up.
Connors.
And Diamond SKY. And that's a wrap.
Right, Bob?
What is good?